Well, it's now my privilege to tell you about the next musical event you're going to hear. And this is one that's close to my heart, because this is about a young man, just 14 years old, who has been through more than almost any 14-year-old I could think of. He was born with sickle cell anemia, a disease which causes untold suffering in terms of attacks of bone pain that come out of nowhere. But on top of that, he, like some children with sickle cell disease, suffered not one, not two, but 3 major strokes. The most devastating one at age 6, which left him unable to speak or walk. But he had a determination to do something much different with his life, because starting at age 2, this young man had fallen in love with the violin and had learned to play as a prodigy at age 3, at age 4, and then at age 6 with a stroke. It seemed like it was all taken away. But that was not going to be the way in which this young man approached this situation. Not only having to learn how to speak and learn how to walk, he had to learn how to play exquisitely on the violin. I met him a year ago because he came to NIH as a patient to undergo a bone marrow transplant from his sister. I'm happy to tell you that transplant was incredibly successful, and he is now cured of his sickle cell disease. And he continues to build his remarkable musical skills as a violinist. And you are now about to hear him. Please welcome to the stage, Caesar Sant. Caesar Sant, everybody, accompanied by Robert Macy, who is Robert, by the way, is a post-baccalaureate student researcher at the National Cancer Institute, so we're really proud of him, too. Thank you, Robert. Caesar, that was just amazing. And I think people probably want to hear a little bit from you about the amazing journey you have been on ever since you started falling in love with the violin at age 2, and then had a lot of things come along the way. What was that like? You had this really bad stroke at age 6 where you couldn't speak, you couldn't walk. Was music sort of on your mind because you'd already started to play quite brilliantly, something that you were wanting to get back to, or are you just like, I'll never be able to do that? What was that like for Caesar?
Yes, I really wanted to get back to playing my violin, and when my father, when I was sick, my father put music for me, and then I would open my eyes, and I knew it.
So even before you were back with anything else, you were back with music? And were you pretty motivated then to try to pick the violin up again?
Yes, sir.
How many hours every day do you have to practice to bring all of that skill to a place like this?
2 hours.
And what's your favorite kind of music? You just played something beautiful. Do you have a favorite composer?
I have Bach. Bach is my favorite.
Right.
And Beethoven, Mozart. That's my 3 favorites.
You came to the right place. So, Caesar, you've got all this talent, you've got this sickle cell thing, which now, thanks to the bone marrow, maybe you don't have to deal with that anymore. What's out there in front of you? What do you want to be doing as you go through your musical experiences here?
I want to be a virtuoso violinist and a composer.
I think you're well on your way. So, Caesar, is there one more thing you'd like to say to this group?
The Lord is God and God is good, everyone.
Thank you. Please, everybody, one more hand for Caesar Sant.